Hey yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're reacting to top 10 badass female character fights in anime. Okay, so from VinnyTube, obviously, because that's the only person I will ever watch for anime clips. Probably not, no, not the only, but still. So question, top 10 badass female character fights in anime. So is it female versus female, or is it like a female versus, you know, like a dude? You get what I'm saying? Or is it just like female fights, like just only females? Because if it's like female, like, you know, like if it's like female versus like a dude, then I guess like you could put like Saber versus Berserker. I personally love that fight. And another female fight. Personally, I know she gets hated on. I know she gets hated on, but I'm just gonna say this: if you actually like don't be like, you know, a complete hater, Sakura versus Sasori was a pretty good fight. Listen, I know it's not like crazy fight out of Naruto, but as a female versus a male fight, personally, for me, Sakura versus Sasori was a pretty good fight. I personally like it. I don't know why people say, oh, well, Sakura was used as a puppet, because she really wasn't. Because at the same time, Sakura saved or Chio more times. If you really think about it, she made the antidote. She made the anyway. It's not about Sakura thing, but all I'm saying is, if it's a female fight, then it's definitely like that's a contender. I don't say being biased, but no, let's go right. Anyway, let me stop talking and let's get right into the video.
Lots of people love waifus, and lots of people love girls who can kick ass in anime. I can attest to that, and I think that a lot of the guys can as well. However, instead of taking a look at the characters, I decided to do things a bit differently this time, opting to go for fights. So for today, you can feast your eyes on some of the best bouts in anime that feature female-on-female action. Yeah! But before we get started, I'd like to encourage you all to hit that like and subscribe button, share the video, and invite your friends to join the VinnyTube community as a subscriber or a channel member. I don't want to keep you waiting any longer, so let's get started with today's video.
Hold up, this triple three. Oh no, I paused it in a worst spot ever. Fairy Tail, you make me do this where I have to pause it like in a worst position. Anyway, I'm leaving it like this because some of you guys actually enjoy this. But yeah, this triple threat fight was one of like the best fights.
It's quite early in the season, and we already have a nice female showdown in anime Terminator. I mean, Vivi Fluoride's Eyes song. This sci-fi extravaganza has been generating a buzz throughout the community now, and rightfully so. In addition to a very intriguing story and setting, it also manages to weave in some cool fights like this one. It's a pretty looking and well-animated fight that will leave you wanting more. It's a cool example of hand-to-hand combat, right on par as you'd expect from a sci-fi anime that has all the makings of a Hollywood blockbuster, to be honest. You can just feel the emotion from the clip alone, and I'd say that fights like this can help elevate an anime in terms of popularity. I mean, something like this did wonders for Gleipnir earlier on, but it's not that Vivi needs that boost at this point. Will we have even more exciting fights like this in Vivi Fluoride's Eyes song? Stay tuned to find out.
What the frick? She just hit the... Oh my gosh. Oh,
next up is Yoruichi versus Soifon from Bleach. The master meets the student in this emotionally charged bout. While much of the attention was in Ichigo's epic last battle against Byakuya, happening concurrently is this slightly overshadowed fight. Both masters of speed and hand-to-hand combat, Yoruichi and Soifon take to the trees as they settle their differences once and for all. The fight ends up being as you'd expect from two speedsters. Like blurs, they duel and raise eyebrows with some of the amazing stuff they pull out. All the while we get the mandatory Soifon backstory and character development, culminating in her unleashing her new technique, only for Yoruichi to reveal that she had that move mastered already. The two reconcile after the battle.
You know how like F up that had to be? She's like, haha, I created this move control, like it was like a mixture of Kaido and something and like spiritual pressure. It was like something like that, and it was just like yo, dude, like I kind of already thought about that, but she already felt like she made that. That'd be messed up. Like, could you imagine creating something and it was like, yo, I already created that though. Like, that's some BS. And it's a very fitting and dramatic end given the high emotional stakes the fight had. It did have a good emotional state, but Yoruichi's body.
We have a three-way dance for the next fight. ERZA
Number
versus Kagura
8
versus Minerva.
Number 8, you better have some good fights, because that fight
I didn't
was...
say anything about strictly being one-on-one fights now, did I? Anyway, Fairy Tail might have been a series known for more of its fan service and power of friendship, but when it's in its A game, Fairy Tail fights can be the definition of awesome. Example, the fight that for me is the most hyped and one of the biggest highlights of the tournament arc. Taking place in the Battle Royale styled event, ERZA runs into Kagura before Minerva intervenes,
I can't believe this is
turning
number
this into
8.
a fight where it's everyone for herself. It's also the explosion of combustible elements, given all the other things involved,
Like,
such as
to
Milana
find
being
out
beaten
that,
up
like,
and Kagura's hatred towards
I'm not gonna
Jalal. It's
spoil it,
probably
but that
the
was
best
such a
you can
good
see
fight.
out of the three women in terms of fights in the series, and it's amazing to see how well their dynamic works.
I've never seen this. Anna versus Alpha.
One of the less popular Type Moon series, 2009 anime Kanon gave us one pretty good female battle. Kanon's battle against Alphard feels like something you'd see in an action flick. Instead of the more supernatural shtick we've come to expect out of Type Moon series, this fight gives us more of a realistic take on two enemies out to kill each other. You have the gunfight, the grappling, and a lot of fast-paced female-on-female action. It's short and sweet, and while we don't get any of those big moments that will be talked about for years to come, for a short, down and dirty fight, this one definitely gets the job done. And it's a pretty nice exhibit of PA Works' mettle in handling fight scenes, something that we don't typically expect from the studio's usual shows.
Oh my god. Oh,
Speaking
well,
of girls who are ready to get down and dirty, we have Revi versus Roberta next. Black Lagoon's really known for its gritty, hard-nosed tone, and we have no further representative of that than the protagonist, Revi. Crude and ill-mannered, Revi really is the heart and soul of her group. In this scene, she takes on Roberta in a quick scuffle that gets as ugly as they can get. Don't let Roberta's appearance fool you, though. She's probably one of the most fearsome combatants in the series, and in this scene, you can see exactly why. In terms of physical abilities, it seems that she has them boosted to supernatural levels, and she does show her proficiency in combat in this. Admit it, when you first saw Black Lagoon, you didn't expect the maid to be so deranged and relentless in fighting now, did you? Now, while I won't say that the battle's representative of what Black Lagoon's all about, the atmosphere is there, and you can really see that dark, no-holds-barred appeal that made the show so attractive to fans.
Oh my god!
Up next is something from Akame ga...
I've not seen this. This is going to be a spoiler. I don't think that's better than... I mean, I haven't watched it personally, but just from the clips I've seen, I don't think that's better than ERZA versus, you know, all three of them. That's some BS.
Continue. Akame versus Esdeath.
I've not seen this fight, so... But I did hear a lot of good things about it.
We all knew that it would come down to this at some point. Our protagonist, Akame, finally gets her hands on Esdeath in the final fight of the Akame ga Kill anime. It's the duel between the two strongest fighters of their respective forces, and we have Akame trying to finally put an end to Esdeath's warmongering ways. I do think that for all the hype surrounding this final battle, Esdeath gets defeated rather easily. I won't say that I was completely disappointed, but I would have wanted a more intense fight.
Well, look,
besides,
I'm not surprised.
The actual visual side of the things delivered, and I think that this is one of those nifty battles in the show in terms of both stakes and animation. Like a lot of things from this particular anime, you can get a different experience reading this fight in the manga. So if you did enjoy watching Akame vs Esdeath, then you should try reading it too. Trigger has carved out a strong legacy in the world of anime, and much of it comes...
Hold up, she has the one-hit kill type of thing, you know, the poison. Oh, I also love this fight. But that one-hit kill thing, right? So... wouldn't that's confusing. So then how does she lose? Cause shouldn't she win if she hit him? I don't know. I thought Esdeath would have lost. Yeah, because Akame lost, right?
Comes from its amazing shows. One of them being Kill la Kill.
Wait, no, I do not remember
this fight. In 2013. Kill la Kill was a show with a pretty wild and novel premise. It takes the fan service and fighting up to 11 and recaptures the magic of Trigger's old blockbusters. Being a show from Trigger, you can expect the fights to be very up to par with their old standards, and for me, one of the favourite moments came halfway through the series in the Ryuko versus Satsuki fight. Eternal rivals finally meet head-to-head in this fight where Ryuko bets her all. It's a very intense battle where both fighters get to show off their abilities, and our hero pulls off the plucky win thanks to Senkutsu. I always had a bias for close fights with a lot of shouts of resolve, 12 and an insert song blaring in the background, so this fight satisfies me in a production sense. That's not to mention how this fight so effectively closes the first part of the show and the amazing twists in its aftermath. Truly a fight
Wait, this is
to remember,
confusing. Why did they switch clothes?
Rather well. I still get goosebumps watching this now. Third place we have Asuna.
That's weird. No, wait, that's weird. That was a different fight. Because I thought it was the first time they fought. Because the first time they fought was really good. I personally thought that was better, but okay. Anyway.
This is Yuki.
I would never watch Sword Art Online. Hate me, I don't care.
For me, one of the Sword Art Online's best arcs in the series as a whole is the Mother's Rosario arc. And I know that sentiment is shared by a sizable portion of the fanbase, and for good reason too. It's the arc that tries to strongly incorporate human drama and the core theme of real life intersecting with the virtual, while also placing Asuna at the forefront. Also, it did kick off with a banger of a fight in Asuna versus Yuki. I know this is a fight that excited a lot of people, especially those who were disappointed about Asuna's role post-Aincrad. After playing support and second fiddle to Kirito, we finally get to see again the Asuna that rose through the ranks as one of the best players in the first arc. This fight is pretty short, but it does show us a cool exchange between the two fighters. Asuna also gets to let Yuki bust out her ultimate skill, letting her pass the latter's test. Our runner-up today is Homura versus Mami in Madoka Rebellion.
Oh, I've never seen this.
Do you know that it's officially the 10-year anniversary of Madoka Magica? Yep, you heard that right, and while everyone's keeping their fingers crossed for a possible big announcement late April, let's take a look back at where the mainline series left us with. In one of the more polarizing anime movies ever, Madoka Magica Rebellion, the Homura and Mami fight described in one word would probably be Sakuga. It's a term used to describe a moment when the animation and art improved drastically, often done in key moments. Just look at how those bullets blitz in this frantic gunfight that spills all over the place. It's a fight that pits Mami's sheer firepower against Homura's wits, and while we know that in a straight-up gunfight, Homura probably loses, Kimura makes it up with a bag of tricks. Pretty cool plot for the movie, even more awesome animation. My only complaint about the franchise is that the mainline series ended on this movie's cliffhanger, but who knows, an announcement of something big could be coming this month.
Oh! What's happening?
With Homura and Mami being such a visual spectacle, what else could top it? Well, another movie, of course, this time from Heaven's Feel 3.
You know, last time I got copyright from this, so I'll make sure to...
If we're talking purely from a visual perspective, the only thing that can beat the Sakuga Fest that's Homura vs. Mami is something from Ufotable's smash hit movie trilogy. Saber Alter and Ryder do battle in the final Heaven's Feel movie's climax. With them finally battling at full power with no major interruptions, it goes about as well as you could expect it, with a practical double KO. I like this fight because while the previous movie is a showcase of Saber Alter's power through some feats and big wins, the third Heaven's Feel movie showed us a glimpse of full power Ryder. For most of the Fate series at this point, Ryder seems to be a very weak servant, often getting off really early on. But Heaven's Feel really showed us her true strength. It's a showcase of Ufotable flexing their animation through and through, and it makes for an amazing climax to the film as far as the battle side of things are concerned. These girl versus girl fights is your favorite. Tell me in the comments section below.
To be honest, I'm still thinking that ERZA versus all three of them should have been higher up on this list. That's just me. And personally, I don't feel like it was better than some of these fights. I don't think it's better than the Revi fight. I don't think it's better than some of these fights, to be honest. Of course, I haven't watched the show, so maybe if I watched the show, I probably would understand it. But me personally, I felt like there was just more emotional stake at it. And personally, I think ERZA fight. Maybe I'm being biased because, you know, waifus, like ERZA my waifu or something. But I still think she should have been higher up on this list. That's just me personally. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think this is like do you think there's any other girl versus girl fights in anime? I don't feel like there is, because I don't really think about the female versus female fights. Yeah, no, I don't really see any other female versus female fights on here. Anyway, comment down below, leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think was the best fight out of all of these. Me personally, I still haven't watched the movie Heaven Feel, so for me personally, still the ERZA fight for me personally. But comment down below, subscribe, and leave a like, and I catch you guys on the next video, and peace.